Civilization balance. July pup notes are out, baby. Let's go. It's been, how long has it been? It feels like forever that there hasn't been a patch. But they've been saving and teasing us because this one is a big one. It's a big one, boys. Let's kick this off because it's going to take a little while. Okay, I want to get through this relatively in a good time. The civilization balance, general. Native American build menu. Adjusted the village's build menu for Native American building by moving the community plaza behind the wall in the town center to the last vision. Okay, not even going to bother with that. Anyone that's watching this back on YouTube, they can you can pause the video at some point. I'm not going to go through every single one. Ranged infantry. Light infantry and counter skirmishers that had their damage against cavalry and shock infantry reduced now have their damage multipliers increased again by about 20%. Both multipliers are now equal at ranged attacks. Interesting. So is that the damage against cav? Grenade troopers. Align the negative damage multipliers of grenadier style units to 0.4 against cavalry from 0.5 and shock infantry. Okay, so they're nerfing grenade troopers slightly, but that's fine. Stealth. The following units now move a bit faster while stealth. Oh, so they're buffing stealth again. There was a campaign, it felt like last year, in 2022, maybe 2021 as well, where they were just nerfing stealth for this, like every single patch. So these guys can run faster in stealth. That's cool. I quite like stealth, as long as it's not as lame as it used to be. Warships improve the turn rate of ship. Wow, with standard broadside attacks to make it easier for them to pursue and hit moving targets. That's good. That's good because European warships are notoriously bad at that. Units and buildings. Field is now built more quickly when in range of a granary. Okay, cool. That's good because fields are terrible to build. Native Scout can now be trained by Aztecs. Oh, wow. Okay, that's nice. Haudenosaunee and Lakota from the town center and native embassy. That's cool. That's cool. We'll see in a second. Yeah, we're coming up to the big explorer. This is so juicy, man. I can't believe it. I think I'm going to be a fan, but we'll see. We'll see. So basically the war chief civs can make scouts from their TC. That's cool. How much are they going to cost? What do they cost? 70, 80 food maybe? Now inflicts plus 5 times bonus damage versus mercenaries. Wow. So going scouts could be quite important. Don't forget, scouts are basically spies then, right? They're making scouts nerfs. They're making scouts spies essentially because they've got the same multiplier now. Well, at least against mercenaries, not against heroes, but and they can stealth. Remember, that's nice. Spy cost reduced to 115, down from 125, and improved attack prioritization against heroes and mercenaries. Okay, so its pathing will be good in big fights. Then is that what it's saying? It will prioritize going for explorers in its range. Explorer. All explorers are now as unique as they look. Each civilization received a small bonus. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this one, because this is going to be like Marmite. Guys, you're either going to love this or you're going to hate this. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Oh, I'm going to love reading this one. All explorers, so the Brits get +1 range and +2 line of sight. So Brits, that's good. Really good. The 2 line of sight is better than the +1 range. The +1 range is meh. That's meh. But the +2 line of sight is actually really good because imagine how much stuff now that would have been missed and now you're going to see. So like the scouting ability of the British explorer is going to be insane. Dutch can train envoys. That's fucking good. That is so good. Imagine like Dutch now, like you can basically flank with your explorer. So like you could, if you're getting like hit by like a fast fortress timing, right, by like Spain or Otto, which is what Dutch have always been weak against, right? You could literally run your explorer behind his army, right? Build 5 envoys and just like flank with 5 envoys. That's gonna be funny, man. French constructs TPs faster and +1 range damage. That's very French, the TP faster. I like that. It's not OP though. Germans hit points regenerate +15% faster. That's probably the worst one so far, but it's still a nice bonus. Italians bonus damage against treasure guardians and pets, +0.25 at range and +0.5 in melee. That's actually massive. That is massive because that's what heroes do, right? They get treasure guardians, kill treasure guardians and get treasures. So that's really, really good. That's probably the best one actually. No, the envoys is the best one, definitely. Ottoman +5 hit points. that makes it good for but it's still going to lose to, like, it's still nowhere near as good as other heroes like the USA heroes and the other generals. Portugal, spyglass ability. They've always had that. So what does that mean? They've always had that. Russians +5 siege damage. Well, oh, that's interesting. +5. Often heroes, right? They siege when there's like outposts or barracks and stuff like that, early age 2 that are getting built, right? So having that +5 damage is going to be huge when they're sieging things that aren't fully complete yet. So that's actually pretty big. That could be potentially really big. Spanish can train war dogs. They always have been. That's the same with the Portugal. So it looks like the Portuguese and the Spanish haven't received any buffs. I mean, the Spanish hero is still the best, right? Like, being able to make war dogs is still by far the best. None of these are still anywhere near the Spanish explorer. Sweden +1 melee damage. That's probably the worst. Horse artillery now transitions notably faster between bombard and limber mode. Okay, wow. But wasn't that the one thing that made horse artillery, like, sufficiently nerfed compared to other things? They're really good, but you have to micro them properly. Okay, treaty players are going to be... That's going to be an interesting one for treaty players. Levied spearmen and bowmen can now be trained in batches of 5, but take 7 seconds longer to... that's for... I believe that's for the African civs. Natives and mercenaries. Chakram, renamed to Chakram Thrower. Berbers now have a 0.5 malice for light infantry on their melee and charge attacks. That's a good nerf because Berber camels were really good. Maya Castle, Mayans. This building can now also train regular Native American military units, renamed. Okay, cool. Don't get to Maya very often, though. Maya Javelineer, now tagged as Foot Archer. Prince Chevalier, House of Whittlebatch, now have a 0.6 times malice for light infantry on their melee attack. So they're nerfing the Prince Chevaliers as well. Melee damage for heavy cavalry increased, although they're better against other cavalry. Okay, so that's a buff. Range damage bonus for heavy cavalry and hand shock infantry increased to 2.75. Okay, so they're probably buffed. They're buffed as a whole. Siege damage decreased though. Okay, that's basically 50% decrease. That's huge though, but you don't really use them to siege. So Quizlabash, that's the native, fixed an issue where the unit would trample attack instead of intended hand attack. Royal Musketeer, House of Bourbon, charged pistol attack now inflicts half the damage versus villagers. Oh, that's huge because it would only take like 4 or 5 Royal Musketeers, and if they all had their charged ability, they would literally one pop a villager. So they were really good at raiding villagers. So the fact that got nerfed, that's actually a massive nerf to the Royal Musketeer build, like the French rush with them. So that's a bit of a shame. Did they need to nerf that? I don't think they did, but okay, they have. Somali Darude Militia, range damage reduced to 11 from 14. Wow, Sheikh got his wish then. Increased damage multiplier for artillery to ×3 from ×2 for ships. Okay, so they got their multipliers increased, but their actual range damage was reduced. So I don't know if that's... So basically what they're trying to say is it will do the Darude skirmishes will do the same damage versus artillery, but it will do worse versus everything else. That looks like to me what they're trying to do. The Somali Issa Warriors, these are going to get nerfed, don't they? Decreased speed to 4.5 from 5. That's huge, but they needed that. They're still fast for a skirmish for a musketeer unit. And damage multipliers for cavalry in melee to 2.5 from 3. Wow, that's big as well. And in the range to 2.5. Multiplier against shock infantry adjusted accordingly. Train time increased to 30 from 25 seconds. So these got nerfed, but it looks like they're still very good. That's still a good unit. Having those multipliers is still a good unit. So I've only just learned the fast fortress with Ethiopia like last week, and now it's getting nerfed. God damn it. Yoruba, line of sight increased to 20. Ascari, cost reduced to 230. Barbara Corsair, 180. Okay. Battleship, range reduced to 32 from 35. Oh, Battleship's getting nerfed. Okay. A lot of people complaining that they were too good. Black Rider, melee reduced. Melee damage increased to 18 from 10. That's huge. Okay. Black Rider's already good. Like that's like already like the go-to meta against like Spain, right? Because of all the rods. So yeah. Okay, I was going to comment something that someone said, but the homie population reduced to 2. Yeah, these need to be buffed because they're not very good. Giant Grenadier population increased to 3. Yeah, okay, these are probably too good, so that's a small nerf to them. Kanuri Guard population increased to 3 from 2. They were very good as well. And hit points increase. Although hit points increase. Wow, okay. Little Bombard, cost reduced to 1100 from 1200 and train time. Okay, interesting. Little Bombards, are they going to be used? No, but that's still cool. Mounted Rifleman, removed Rifleman class and adjusted negative damage bonuses for heavy cavalry. Okay, and shock infantry. To keep them in line with other... These are good, but you don't use them to attack cav. So, Napoleon guns, decreased population to 4 from 5 and cost to 450. Okay, so these got buffed. Speed increased to 4. Wow, so Napoleon guns... Probably going to be some builds for Napoleon guns now. Nice. Yojimbo decreased melee area. Okay. Zenata Rider population increased to 3 from 2 and line of sight increased. Okay, Zenata Riders were very good, but they got slight nerf because of the population space. I like that as a way of nerfing certain things, like, you know, just increasing the population space, because in sense that's... now, please don't Lionheart ever have a say in balance again, and it's Gucci. Who do you think agreed with giving them back? Mr. Passy, all right? You should be thanking me, son of a bitch. Technologies, mission further, corrected the tooltip to mention. Okay, so this is just technologies, marriage, politics, House of Western. Now reduces age up costs by 15%, down from 20%. That was too good. That was too good. Is it still too good? Probably, because it's only minus 5%. But still, that needed a nerf. Mayor Cotton armor now also affects foot archers. Paper cartridge cost reduced. Wow, paper cartridge has been reduced. Interesting, because that's been in the game forever, like literally the beginning of the game. Been like that. That's interesting change. Pillage would cost. Okay, royal card games cost increased. Yeah, that was too good. Somali Oryx hide shields. This was really good, and yeah, okay, so that got increased, and so essentially nerfed. That's good because it's really good. To 2p animal law, 2p, okay, Victorian. So that's just some balance changes. I like those balance changes. Cards, advanced scouts no longer enables native scouts in town centers and now increases bonus damage versus mercenaries. Okay, advanced farm, advanced mill. Wow, so advanced mill. So these now also send a mill wagon. Advanced farm. So all of these advanced building type cards now also send a wagon for it. That's nice. That's nice. Advanced market now also sends a market wagon. Blood Brothers. Wow, then we can actually see some stuff with this. Blood Brothers now also increases the build limit and hit points of native embassies. Cool. Fencing school. Fix an issue where this card would not improve the train time of shock infantry for 7. Heavy fortifications. Oh, don't. They're not going to nerf my boy, are they? This card now also researches defensive technologies of your respective civilization, resulting in a smaller... This card now only researches defensive technologies of your respective civilization, resulting in a smaller score increase. Yeah, because it inflated your score by like 10k. They basically, yeah, the bug for the 10k score. Research time increased to 60 seconds from 40 seconds. That's a nice way to nerf it. That, because like that 20 seconds extra that it takes, right, can make all the difference. It can make all of the difference. Added to Ethiopians and Hausa, higher armored pistoliers. Unit count reduced from 7 to 8. Oh, so they get... Wow, so Ethiopia and Hausa get armored pistoliers. Cool. 4 Grens, unit cost. So that'll cost like 1k influence, right? 4 native scouts, okay. Aztecs. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Here we go. Arrow Knight. Now inflict 0.75 damage against infantry. Wow, so they nerfed Arrow Knights. Jaguar Prow Knights now benefits from combat promotions. Because these Arrow Knights were too good in mass, right, versus other skirmisher units. Because they're essentially a siege unit. Jaguar Prow Knight now benefits from combat promotions. Wow, speed increased to 5. These guys needed a buff though, because the Jaguar Knights aren't that good. They weren't that good, so that's cool that they get buffed. Warrior Priest spawn time at Community Plaza increased by plus 10%. They're still on that JPC strat, right? They're still trying to nerf that. Kalmikuk no longer ships a Warrior Priest. What? That feels like an unnecessary nerf, I think. That is a huge nerf. I mean, that card, though, don't get me wrong, Kalmikuk was probably the best card in the game if you take it from, like, a tempo and resource point of view. It was way too good. But that feels... Yeah, I don't know. They aren't armored pistoliers. How's an Ethiopia age getting fortifications card? Oh, is that what it says? So... Oh, okay, yeah, so heavy fortifications. So basically... Oh, okay, so Ethiopian Hausa now get heavy fortifications. I read that wrong. Okay. You know what that means, boys. You know what that means. The FI is real with the Africa Civs. Cheap War Hurts renamed. Okay. Night Combat moved to age 4. Zutuma Citadel. Ships an American Citadel identical to Mayor Castle. Wow, that's cool. That is going to be cool. The Mayor Castle is like the most beautiful bit of architecture in the game. So, okay, cool. Temple of Zepitoka support now improves Coyote Runner armor by... Okay. Technologies, Legends of Coyote Runners now increase Coyote Runner hit points and damage by 50%, down from 60%. So it looks like Aztecs kind of as a whole got nerfed quite hard. Not hard, but they got nerfed. They definitely got nerfed. I do think Aztec have been an underrated civ for a long time, so they're still good. Jaguar Knights though did get buffed, so maybe there's something there. It sounds like stealth has been buffed. They've also been don't forget stealth has also been buffed for Jaguar Prow Knights. So the Jaguar Prow Knights are going to be beasts. The Brits, 3 settlers added. Every Brit main's going to be overjoyed with that one. Get the cake, get the party going. 10 pikemen in 3. Infinite is no longer infinite, but now researches guard pikemen and allows researching imperial pikemen for a reduced cost. So that's actually technically a late game card if you want to go like longbow pike. That's cool. Musketeer, Grenadier cards have been renamed to Coldstream Guards, Scots Guard, Team Grenadier. That's cool. I like that. That sounds cool. The Black Watch, the Glorious Revolution, now also grants Highlanders hit point regeneration, +3 line of sight and +1 range. Interesting. The Black Watch Fast Fortress is real. Redcoats in Age 4, unique Musketeer upgrade, cost reduced to 750 wood, 750 coin. King's Lifeguard, unique Hussar upgrade, cost reduced. Okay, wow. So Brits getting some nice buffs here. The 3 settlers is back. That's the biggest one. Are we gonna have another decade of Brits being OP again? Who knows? Is that gonna make all the difference again? Who knows? Because it's easy to forget that Brits were S-tier for a long time, but I don't think so. But yeah, we'll see. China Transcendence, Temple of Heaven Wonder ability has now a cap of healing 100 hit points per unit. Good. That was way too good because it was unbelievably good. It was basically like a cheat. If you used it at the right time, it was basically a cheat, a cheat tech. So that being nerfed is good. 100 hit points per unit. Is that still going to be good? Yes, I think it's still going to be worth. It'll be cool to see if people continue going for the Temple of Heaven. I think people probably will. Double-faced armor now also applies to Kesheks. Cool. Repelling volley increases arcs and Chukanu's multiply against light cavalry by 0.125, up from 1. Wow, repelling volley getting a buff. Interesting. The range damage reduced to 15. Okay, they got nerfed. Flamethrower population cost reduced to 3 from 4. Okay, they're trying to make flamethrowers a thing. Keshek's hit points increased. Meteor hammers range reduced to 4 from 5. Yeah, 5 was just so ridiculous. And cost, because they could snipe falconets even if you've got a massive army like in front of them. And cost increased to 180 coin. Wow. Okay, so that's a nice nerf. This increases the coin. I was going to say it's going to be the Fibonacci, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Russian expeditionary force, Russian consulate now sends 5 dragoons instead of 6 Cossacks. Is that good? I don't know. Probably, yeah. Russian brigade, Russian consulate now sends 25 Scavoni-like infantry instead of 15 Hussars. So the skirmishers got nerfed slightly. Flames in case it's got, and the meteor hammers. So that's good. So the skirms and the meteor hammers got nerfed slightly. And repelling volley got buffed there. But the most important thing was the transcendence, right? So transcendence got nerfed. Okay, good. Are China still going to be like as good as they are? Sort of, yeah, kind of. Just transcendence isn't just gonna automatically win games for people.
Sea creatures attack!
Big Sedja, how you doing? I was watching your stream earlier. Very nice. Hope to see some more streams out of you. Hope you had a good one. Thanks for the raid. Dutch. Belgian Revolution now also converts routers into revolutionaries. No matter what they do, they're not going to make that card viable, all right? You're not going to make a revolution with Dutch other than South Africa relevant. You just not, you know. The card ones are not going to be good. Nasu Regiment, free 1,000 coin, sends 14 musket-armed blue guards and enables them in forts. All right. Trying to make them turn them into USA here. That's really cool. I like that. So is it 14 musket-armed blue guards? So for 1k coin, you're going to get 14 musketeers. Is that going to be a thing? Probably not. Is that going to be a thing? Probably not. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be good or not, but we're going to be trying it. The Warglers, Religious Freedom, renamed to Red Lancers. The previous name is now used for an Age 2 card, 500 coins, sending 4 Swiss pikemen and enabling them in taverns and barracks for a smaller price. Okay. Okay. Maybe we've got something going. Maybe you could find something going on there. I could see like a Swiss pike cannon, you know, something going on there. Carabiners, unique router upgrade costs reduced to... Okay, there's a theme going here about reducing the cost to the Age 4 techs. Attack range increased by +1. That's pretty big. That is actually pretty big for a unit like a router. Unique halberdier upgrade costs reduced. Wow, a research time is 10 times second storm. Okay, interesting. Trying to make halberdiers a thing. Ethiopia, Talbot, amount of additional coin per mountain monastery reduced to 900 coin. Okay, that's the card. Draft Oxen, I don't know what that does. Higher band of cannoneers, unit count reduced to 7 from 8. Yeah, because these were too good. And higher cannoneers, unit reduced to 12 from 14. Okay, yeah, they were too good as well. 14 Somali allies. Unit count reduced to 11. That's the 500 one, is it? No, my fast fortress is ruined. My fast fortress of Ethiopia is ruined. No, Dutch are not OP now, Shake. Behave yourself. Anything but. Technologies, Sudanese Alliance, age up, now provides 300 infants, down for 400. Oh, Somali Alliance now provides 300 infants down. Yeah, because 400 infants was kind of way too good. But I don't actually age up with them to age 2 anyway. Because I think like the other one's better. I can't remember what you call it, but the Ethiopia one. Neftenia, attack reduced to 14. Okay, so Ethiopia are getting nerfs, which they needed. Shotter Warrior, damage multiplier changed from infantry to light infantry. Hallelujah! Because Shotter Warriors would basically beat Musketeers, right? They would basically beat Musketeers because they had the bonus versus Musketeers. They were essentially Lancers. They were essentially like a soft Lancer unit. So that's really good. So Shotter Warriors are nerfed. They are basically how they should be. They're going to be less like Coyote runners now, right? Neftenia have been nerfed as well. So we'll see. So that's nice. These changes are nice. It nerfs. It looks like it nerfs Ethiopia significantly because it was kind of a thing known that Ethiopia were kind of the second best civ in the game. The only one better is obviously Italy. So that's good. Units. So they can be rushed again now. Basically, you can rush Ethiopia now, right? Technologies. We just went over that. Units. Yeah, just went over that. Okay, so France. Units. Kerr. Train time reduced to 55 seconds from 60. Okay, nice little buff there for Kerrs. Native Scout. It's funny, like sometimes that honestly can make all the difference. Like imagine like your stable's about to get sieged, but it, you know, in between 55 and 60 seconds, you get a batch of 5 Kerrs out of nowhere, whilst it would have been the stable going down before. That would be cool, and that happens quite often. Native Scout can now be retrained from the town centre and native embassy by default. Oh, so the Native Scout is like the envoy now for France. So France can remake scouts. Cool. Sans-Flotti French Revolution now counters heavy infantry instead of all infantry. No, they've nerfed my French Revolution. Why? Oh no. So it now counters heavy infantry instead of all infantry. No. What a shame. What a shame. It was a very strong revolt. It will still be a strong revolt, but that's a shame. Storming of the Bastille, French Revolution, siege damage improved by +20%, down from 20%. I always went for that. Has someone been watching me? Has someone been watching me? Yeah, what's up, Luke Tom? Yeah, we'll play later on in the week. No worries. Royal Fencing School also improves the train time of shock infantry. Oh, they've nerfed my revolution. No. They also nerfed the French what do you call it, the Bourbon Musketeers strat as well, because their charge attack has a negative multiplier versus settlers. So that's a shame. So a couple of nerfs on my side, but outside of that, it's pretty much all the same. It's pretty much of the same for France. Unique skirmisher upgrade cost reduced. Okay, so that's big. Gendarmes unique. Okay, that's big as well. Research time is 10 seconds shorter. So Young Guard, Edict of Nantes now also enables grenadier training in barracks. Wow. Okay, cool. So France, you know, small buffs, small nerfs, basically the same. Germans, advanced buildings in 4. Fix an issue where this card would not deliver Uhlans as expected. 6 Polish winged hussars now delivers 7 winged hussars, up from 6. Oh, that's a nice buff because these things are massive. So just giving them an extra 1 is really big. Circle army. This card now costs 400 wood, 400 coin. I thought it was 250 in the treaty game mode. Oh, in the treaty game mode, if the Blood Brothers card has also been sent. Oh, there was an issue with that being too good and overpopping, I think. So only in treaty game mode if the Blood Brothers card has been sent. Okay, so that doesn't a change for supremacy. Native mercenary cards. Fix the issue where cards did not apply for the German Civ bonus. Fix the issues where cards did not apply the German Civ bonus. Oh, okay. Wetting allies. 9 wetting allies. Cost increased to 11. No longer research as veteran Habsburgs. Count increase. I don't really know what's going on here. Is that the age 1 card? That changes. Okay. Someone in chat can... I'm not really understanding that. 8 wetting native mercenary cards. Oh, no, it's the mercenary cards. Wow. So, wetting allies. Isn't that like 500 coin? And it gives you an extra 2 now. An extra 2 for that one. An extra 2. An extra 2 in all of them. An extra 3 here. Wow. So, they might be viable. Treaty was also increases Doppels on the melee range by 1. Yeah, that's okay. So that's like the church tech, right? Needle guns, unique skirmisher upgrade cost reduced. Yeah, so they're doing this for everyone. They're reducing the guard type techs, right? Combat strength is increased by 35%, down from 40%, but rate of fire improved to 2.5 from 3. That's a buff. That is a buff, my friend. Needle guns are gonna be good. Needle guns are gonna be insane. Except by Uhlans. Uhlan upgrade cost reduced to wow, what this is crazy. Resistance and also improves range resistance by 5%. What? Renamed to Prussian Uhlans. What? Germany have received some nice buffs here. Germany as strong as it is. Germany have received some nice buffs. Wow. Prince electors, fix an issue where the Royal Hunter wouldn't cost any population after allying with Oldenburg. Fix an issue where population changes. Okay. Haud and Ashoni, new civilization bonus. Trees last longer by 100%. I mean, cool. I don't disagree, but it's just that's random as hell, right? But okay, cool. Okay. I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind that. There's always a reason and a design issue behind these things, so I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a treaty thing. Who knows? Town centre big buttons. Cost of each reduced by 5%. Okay. Haud and Ashoni are fine. You know, Haud and Ashoni are decent civ. Cards. 8 Aenas increased to 9 Aenas. That's the bows. 11 Aenas. Wow. Count increased to 20. They've got a 20 Aena card now, but that makes sense, I think. 9 Forest Prowlers. Count increased to 13. What? 6 Musket Riders in 4. Count increased to 8. Wow, these are insane. Canadian Loyalists no longer arrive fast. Is that going to impact the game like a normal supremacy match? Not overly. Conservative tactics now improves all infantry. Move from the elder section to the warrior. Environmentalism. Tree yield reduced to 400% from 500%, but now converts the costs of forest prowlers and musket riders to wood and food. What? Wow. Is that a treaty change? That's got to be a treaty change, right? Extensive fortifications 2. Renamed to advanced war huts and merged with the war hut training card. Train time. Okay. Native warrior conscription replaces the native warriors 25% cheaper anti-native warrior societies with a single card. Wow, okay, cool. Team scout infantry move to age 1 and also sends 1 native scout. Okay. Wampum, what a name. Wampum, I'm gonna wampum ya. Okay, mum joke, no, don't do it. Move to age 3 and also reduces unit train time by minus 20%. Artillery siege units only minus 5%. War hut training, replace the advanced war hut. Okay, fix inconsistent spellings of war hut. Okay. Units Aena, minimum rate of fire mechanic removed. Oh, so Aena, that completely went then. That whole thing about the closer you are to them has completely gone now. So Aena are back to how they were originally, which was kind of bad. Because the problem with Aena has always been their startup animation, right? That's why they've always been bad. So has that been changed? Their startup animation. But that's a big nerf in comparison. But that's cool. Some nice changes. Yo, what's up, Fitzbro? Lakota buffs. Yeah, let's go. Draft Oxen moved to age 1. This is Hausa now. Berber Alliance age up now provides 300 influence. Yeah. So same with Ethiopia. Akan Alliance now provides 300 down from 400. Imam Moroccan Alliance fix an issue where the Imam would cost food and influence. The thing is, right, that's not going to nerf Hausa very much. And I honestly think Hausa are a very scary civ. They are a very scary civ. So really, realistically, the only nerf is minus 100 influence, which is it's not nothing, but Hausa are still a scary civ. But okay, that's cool. I don't think they're OP. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Inca, Queen's Festival, Cancha House, Big Button, cost reduced by 50 resources each. Okay, isn't that the Cancha House Big Button? I believe that's is that the one that gives you 4 villagers? I think that's the one that gives you 4 villagers, right? What's up, Big Hungers? How you doing, everyone? Inca Kashki now inflicts +5 times bonus damage versus mercenaries. There's clearly a theme going on here. Like, so with each civilization's like scout type unit, they're also giving them a secondary purpose now, which is outside of scouting, is they do extra damage versus mercenaries. But imagine Chaskis versus, I don't know, giant grenadiers or something like that. They're just gonna be absolutely wrecked, right? And Chaskis can't stealth, so yeah, that's not going to be too much difference. Chumi runners damage multiplier against artillery decreased to 1.2 from 1.5. Okay, so Chumi runners got nerfed, and yeah, I mean, Chumi runners are insane. Let's be honest. Hurricane increased damage multiplier against artillery by 2.5, decreased damage multiplier against cavalry to 0.3 instead of 0.5, and against infantry to. So the Hurricane are doing what they're designed to do, which is Hurricanes kill, and let's be honest, Chimu runners are still going to be your main like culverin type unit, right? Chimu runners are still going to do a really good job. They are insane at killing artillery, right? They still are. So that change is not going to make much difference. But Hurricanes are more deadly against falconets, but they'll get wrecked by everything else harder. So okay, that's probably a fair change. They still do really good damage versus buildings, and that's what you use them for as well. So yeah, that's still good. Cards, Amara support now adds 3.5 bonus damage against heroes instead of mercenaries. Improves damage by 0.9. Okay. Increases Chasqui limit by +15 up from 5. Yeah, so you could get a lot of Chasquis now to fight mercenaries. Now sends 7 Chasqui up from 5. Cloud Warriors move to age 3. Cloud Warriors, wow. So isn't that the thing that can make like all of your units or Chimu runners stealth, right? This is what can make. So I think Cloud Runners makes Chimu runners stealth. So that's crazy. The dev saw some of our changes line. Yo, what's up, Hunger? Yeah. Indians shipment rate. Oh, this doesn't look like there's main on here. They need nerfs, man. Shipment rate. Increase shipment curve penalty to 10% up from 8%. Okay, is that going to make a huge difference? Is that going to make a huge difference? I don't know, but that seems good. That seems good. 7 AZAPs, Ottoman Consulate reduced to 6 AZAPs. Good. Dravidian Martial Arts now improves Rajput melee damage by +20% in total, down from 30%. Okay. Rajputs are insane right now. Rajput Manstabar. Melee damage reduced to 12 from 14, so they got nerfed slightly. Cover mode hand attack reduced to 6 from 7. Okay, good, because Rajputs are ridiculous. So, but they still look like they're good. So India, do we think that's sufficient nerfs for India? India are insane right now. You know, if Italy weren't in the game, people would be complaining about India more. So yeah, I mean, Rajput got nerfed kind of hard. Not that hard. Not that hard, honestly. Honestly, not really. Italians. Wow, so here we go. This is what we need. We need to bring Italy back into the A tier. Let's see if they can do it. Sinise finances now deposits something down from 1,000 food. Well, we don't we don't know. It's 800 food centered. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's good. That's 20% nerf. Lucan finances now deposits. This is the age. These are both age 2. Yeah. So now deposits 1200 wood. Wait. Am I missing something? The age 2 ones. Why is this a mistake that they've put the age 2 thing here? Lucan finances now deposits 1200 wood down from 1500. That's good. That's a good nerf. Jenny finances now deposits 1200 coin down from 1500. Florentine finances now deposits 23 down from 3. The 3000 one was so good. Okay, so all of the Lombard resource cards have been nerfed, and they've been nerfed quite heavy. Because remember, you don't get them that quickly unless you've got 5 Lombards. But the point is that they get lots of XP, so we'll see if that anything. Oh, it does, and I can see it already. So that's been nerfed quite well, I think. I think that looks like they've done a good job there. Monte de Baeta now deposits 600 coin from set. So that's the one that gives the Lombard. Yeah, so that now only gives 600 coin as well. So that's been nerfed as well. Great. Afuzi, XP gather rate during resource conversions reduced to 0.2 from 0.5. Yes, great change. I'm glad they didn't get rid of it altogether, but that's more than 50% nerf. Like, that's really good. That's like a 60% nerf. So that's really great. Really good. They're still going to get XP. Like, as long as you keep resource in your Lombards and you've got 5 Lombards, that's still going to be good. That trickle is still going to be good, because it's, if you've got max Lombards, it's going to be a 1 trickle, a 1 XP trickle. So that's good. Roman tactics. We'll see if there might be a thing where maybe we'll see the TP meta come back. Maybe we'll see the TP with Italy meta come back. Roman tactics. Pavisier hit points now increased by 15%, down from 30%. Holy League added the missing cost of 1500 coin. What's that? What's Holy League? Added the missing cost of 1500 coin. Can someone tell me what that is? Is that the battleship? What costs 1500 coin? That must be the battleship, right? Red shirts, the battleship. Thank you, Platypus. Red shirts renamed to Garibaldini. Yo, Risotto, where are you? Did I pronounce that right? Garibaldini. Garibaldini! Tell me if I pronounced that right, or how far off I was. Risotto's my man for all things Italy. Technologies, the Papal Guard, politician. Amount of Papal Guards reduced to 5 from 8. Good, because the 8 was way too good. And to 10 from 12. Okay, so that's the age 4 one. So that's nice when using the advanced politicians card. Good. It's alright, sort of. Alright, so I'll take sort of. I'll take that. Now also enables guard and imperial upgrades for Pavisiers. Wow, so they're trying to buff the... That's why they got nerfed with Roman tactics. I did think that didn't make much sense, but now I realise that the Expos are going to be viable in the late game, because they never had the imperial tech, right? They didn't even have guard techs, I don't believe. So now the Pavisiers are good. And don't forget that those... I believe the Pavisiers have the card which... like the Malta crossbows, they can siege down buildings really effectively. So don't forget that. That might be a thing. That might be it, because that was played around with at the beginning of Italy when it first came out. So maybe we'll see like a Malta Expo type thing. They're not going to be as good as Malta Expos for obvious reasons, like the plus 2% trickle with every card. But maybe we'll see crossbows come back. We'll see what happens with Bersaglières. Hopefully there's some Bersaglières nerfs in here. I'm getting worried there's not. Spring guards, unique culverin upgrade cost increased to 450 wood and food, and range resistance increased by 5%. Okay, so they've nerfed that. Was that 250 wood and 250 food, right? So they've almost doubled it. That's good, but they're still gonna have the best. They're still gonna have the best culverins in the game. So that's good. I like that. Instead of getting rid of it, they've nerfed how much it costs to upgrade it, which is good. Taking into consideration the Lombard nerfs, resource card nerfs, that's going to be a lot harder to get as well. So that's cool. I like that. Galilean mortars, unique mortar upgrade cost increased to 400 wood, 400 food, and mortars cost minus 50 coin. Okay, interesting. We don't see that though. Units Bersaglières, fingers crossed, decreases the damage bonus multiplier against cavalry and handshock infantry on the stun attack to 0.4. and 0.3 respectively from 0.6, 0.5. So they do worse versus cav, which, yeah. Just the fact that they can do that stun attack versus cavalry is insane. Papal Zouave now only provides damage deflection for other ranged infantry. Okay. Papal Lancer now only provides damage deflection for other cavalry. Okay, that's good. Besegules didn't get nerfed though, did they? But I like the nerfs to Italy. Are Italy still going to be really good? I kind of think so. The XP trickle has been nerfed, and the Lombard resources has been nerfed. So not only are they not going to have as much XP, because the resources dwindle down quicker because there's not as many of them, the XP trickle is going to go quicker. So it's going to nerf the FI. It's going to nerf the fast industrial because they're not going to be able to spam all of the cards that they get in Age 4. So let's hope that Italy have been sufficiently nerfed. But Besegules still exist. That's a very good point, Simlo. But they should still exist. But should their speed maybe have been nerfed or something like that? Yes, probably. Should the card that gives you about 15 of them in Age 4 been taken away? Yes, probably. But I think that's probably a good nerf. Japanese. There's only one thing for Japan. Bless Japan. Close combat. Hit points improvement increased to 15%. There you go. There's a buff for you guys. Japan got a buff. Hallelujah. You wanted buffs, you got a buff. There you go. Just the one, though. Lakota. The devs definitely don't want the headache again of Japan being OP, especially at lower levels. Like, people just, the devs do not want that to happen again, clearly. And respect to them for that. Respect. Because I think we can all agree on that. Lakota. Axe Rider. Damage multiplier against light cavalry. Reverted to 0.75 from 0.5. There's a buff. That's against light cavalry. Interesting. So winter counts moved to Age 1, but that was an Age 4 card. What? I have no idea. Someone in chat tell me what this card does. Thank you very much. 7 counter fires decreased amount of units to 7 from 21 and cost 400 coin from 750 coin. That feels like a nerf. The XP on unit creation. Thank you, Platypus. Damn, you're good, son. You're good. You're on it today, Platypus. Lakota Takola soldiers, 2 big button. Cost reduced to 1,800 food from 2,000 food. That's a 10%. That's a 10% buff. So in reality, that's an overall buff for Lakota. So there you go. Axe Riders are a bit better against their counter units. Malta civilization bonus. Hit points increase per shipment is now plus 1% for ships and artillery. 2% for everything else. Okay, that's a good nerf because people are complaining that they have the best artillery, obviously by far in the game. Their crossbows will stay the same. But Malta aren't OP. That's the thing. Cards. Morgan flagship added the missing cost of 1,500 coin. Yeah, why both the new civs didn't have? They could just send a battleship in Age 4 for free. War guns. I don't know what war guns is. Oh yes, I do. It's the thing that gives the musketeer sentinels more range, right? Aura radius increased to 16 from 12. No longer improves sentinels near enemy walls if the Crusader Knights technology gets researched. Okay. Flamethrowers. Flamethrowers. Now also sends an artillery foundry wagon. What's flamethrowers? Is that the thing that gives outposts a flamethrower attack? Oh no, is that's the that's the thing that gives the Grens a charged attack, right? The hoop throwers, right? So that's the thing that gives the hoop throwers. It sends an artillery foundry wagon. That could be really good. That could be really good because you could have that in your deck, right? And if you're getting rushed and you're making musketeers, you could just ship that card, and you could start making flamethrowers now. So the hoop throwers are now going to have that close range charged attack. That's actually a really good card. That is actually such a good card, and I guarantee you that's going to be in every Malta's deck because lots of Maltas get rushed because that's how you counter them. I guarantee you, flamethrowers. That's like the best card I've seen so far. That is the best card I've seen so far, and I'm not underestimating that. I guarantee you. That's a really cool card. It's not going to be OP, but it's going to be a really nice card. Calling it now. That's cool. I'm really going to be interested to try that. It gives the flamethrowers. That's so good. 7 fire throwers in Age 3. Unit count increased to 8. That's nice. That's really cool. Okay. Units and buildings depot cost increased to 75. Okay, so they're nerfing the depots. R.I.P. Harrison. And build time to 24 seconds from 20 seconds. Blast radius decreased from 16 to 14. I'm not sure about the cost increase, but I definitely agree with the blast radius. I definitely agree with that. But the main reason you get depots is to increase the rate of fire for the musketeers, the town centers, the outposts, etc. So depots are still going to be good for what they do. But they're just not going to be... You can't spam them as easy anymore. And you're going to be able to run away from them quicker, which is a nice change. Fixed gun, no longer affected by the Maltese hit point bonus. I didn't know it was affected by the Malta hit point bonus. Decreased population to 6 from 7 and range to 34 from 35. So the fact that... Okay, so that's I think that's an overall nerf because having one extra range is so good. So I don't know if that makes a change to like the culverin or the mortar fight. So I don't think it does. So that's still fine. It's just not going to hit units as quickly. You can build them closer to TCs now. Is that the depots or the fixed guns? Maximum distance to enemy town center. Oh, you just maximum distance to enemies first town center reduced. Okay, cool. Does that make any difference? Maybe you could get more map control. Hospital heals units at a rate of 2, down from 2.5 in a radius of 8, down from 12. Okay, yeah, that was kind of really good because hospitals only cost 100 wood, right? So that's a nice change. Fire thrower added target lock to all range attacks. Wow, so fire thrower. So I call them hoop throwers because that's what the chakrams used to be. So the fire throwers have actually been buffed, like seriously. So with the Age 2 card now, they're gonna be a thing. They are 100% going to be a thing, guys. Fire throwers are going to be in. Expos out, fire throwers in. No, I think late game will always be expos, but earlier game, fire thrower, sentinel is definitely going to be a thing. Technologies, arbalisters, unique crossbowman upgrade, cost reduced to 750. Okay, but combat strength only improves by 35%, down from 40%. That's good because their expos are way too good. So that's a small nerf. Buff to the cost, but nerf to the damage. Basilics, what's that again? Unique culverin upgrade cost increased to 400. Culverins now inflict additional poison damage. What on earth? So does that mean they can do poison damage to other artillery? Imagine they do poison damage to other artillery. As long as it doesn't do poison damage to artillery, because that would be way too OP. Like, I don't really care because poison with something that fires really slowly isn't going to really be too much of a problem. But that's hilarious. They are going to snare to me. Oh, that was fucking genius. Oh god, Woo! I got to calm down. Mexicans. But these are nerfs. These are kind of nerfs. So, you know, they're changed. I like the change. Every change so far I've kind of really liked. There's not many changes I don't like. Mexicans, Advanced Frontier Defenses, Central America Revolution. Is that the one that gives free upped towers, right? This card now costs 200 wood to send during the revolution. Cost removed after returning to Mexico. So they wanted to make that change earlier. I don't really do it anymore because it's actually not that good of a strategy because you have 0 eco. But they've now implemented that change because it obviously didn't work. So, Bastimento Rio Grande Revolution now also increases settler train time by 20%. I'm not really sure what that does. I'm not sure what Bastimento did. Old 300 years Texas Revolution now ships up to 24 citizens, down from 85. Oh no, they put a maximum limit on that. Oh no. Oh, they put a limit on it because I remember, I think the max I've ever done from the Texas Revolution villager card, because it gives you a villager per building you have. So I think the most I've gotten is about 40. It was like 39 or something, which is kind of insane. But that's okay. I mean, why 24? I don't know. Just cap it at 30. But okay, whatever. Plan of Ayutala decreases costs of. I feel like they watch my revolutions too closely and they nerf my revolutionary strats, because that's the French Revolution strat nerfed, and now the Mexican FI and the Texas Revolution has been nerfed. They're picking on me. They're picking on me. Plan of Aorta 4 decreases cost of revolutionaries again by -10% instead of -30% and allows training time in batches of 10. I don't know what that card does. Decreases cost of revolutionaries again. I don't know what that does. Plan of Tuxtepec, cost of 1,000 wood and 1,000 food added. Can someone tell me what the plan of Tuxtepec is? Can someone tell me what the plan of Tuxtepec is? Changes skirms into muskets. Oh, so yes. Oh, okay. So that was a problem in like treaty, right? I think that was like a problem in treaty. Sonora, Vanqueros free. Sonora. Quatreros can no longer kill huntable animals or gather food from them. Is that the card that gave the Quatreros? Yeah, and they can no longer kill huntable animals or gather food from them. That's literally only been implemented in the last couple of weeks. I guarantee you that's only been in the last couple of the weeks. And I can't remember who's, I saw Callan do it once, and so I started doing it. And it's honestly not a very good strategy anyway, right? It's honestly not very good anyway. Why it needs to be nerfed, I feel like that's an over, like that's honestly an over nerf. Like it's not good. It's really not. It's a good card, but the whole build order is really not great. It's a very niche build order, so that feels like you just nerfed that because you saw a YouTube video that I put out. It's dumb though, maybe not everything's about me, so I should stop thinking I'm the center of the universe. Technologies, veteran Salteadors, Imperial Vigilantes now increase Salteador range by +1. There you go for all the boring Mexico players that like to just go through the ages rather than revolt. There's a buff for you. Vigilantes, unique Salteador upgrade cost reduced, okay, like every other civ. Unit cost reduced by -10%, and Salteador range increased by +1%. Yeah, so there's been a problem with their the skirms. Mexico skirms have always been bad. All the other stuff's been good, but their skirms have always been really bad. So, what else is here? Charos, unique Chinico upgrade cost reduced. Yeah, research time, that's similar to all the other civs. Unique units and buildings. Units and buildings. Chinico damage bonus for hand shock infantry removed. Hacienda line of sight reduced to 24 from 34. Wow, that's huge. Insurgent cost increased to 70 food from. I actually agree with that because the insurgent rush was too good. It was just too good. Hacienda getting a line of sight removed is fine. I think that's mainly because of like the age 1 card that gives you a Hacienda and 2 vills. Like people will just plonk it forward. And having 34 line of sight in the middle of the map was way too good. So they've reduced the line of sight. So that I agree with that change as well. People were complaining about Chinico's being slightly too good. Okay, fine. They got rid of the bonus against hand shock infantry. Okay. They don't have a heavy cav unit though, really. So Ottomans outside of Chinico's, which are kind of not. I don't know. Ottomans, so some overall, there's a lot of nerfs for. I mean, other than the skirm, there's nerfs, quite a few nerfs. So I'll have to play around with Mexico and see what how good they're feeling. Ottomans, Abbas Gunner train time increased to 44 seconds from 42, so they've increased it by 2 seconds. Okay, that's not really that's kind of negligible. That's honestly negligible. Damage multiplier against light cavalry reduced to 2.25 from 2.5. So they're worse versus goons, which is definitely like imagine having a multiplier and they've got a siege multiplier versus light cavalry. Like it's insane. Why do they have a multiplier versus them? I know skirmishers do, and they're kind of a skirmisher, but they're kind of not a skirmisher at the same time. So honestly, they could just reduce it to 2. They could just reduce it to 2, and that would be better. Because honestly, Abbas guns are so good. Artillery line of sight increased by so artillery, what? Line of sight increased by +3 and now uses the unique Ottoman skins by default. Artillery, is that all artillery? Line of sight increased by +3 and now uses the unique Ottoman skins by default. Am I missing something here? Am I missing something here? Is that all artillery? Not the. I'm thinking of like an artillery foundry, but line of sight increased by +3. Why do Ottomans get increased line of sight? That's line of sight increases for artillery, by the way, is so good because obviously if you're a falconet, you can see culverins coming from further away, so you can obviously back that up. So like, that's actually insane buff if I'm reading it right. Yeah, exactly. Their culverins will auto lock so much harder, and they'll stay in the auto lock for longer because obviously the line of sight is still there. So that's kind of insane. That's honestly such an insane buff. I don't think they understand how much of a buff that actually is. Like the auto lock. AZAPs damage increased to 8 from 6, but range multipliers reduced to 3. Okay, that's to kind of do better against normal units, I guess, but not as hard versus their counters. Bash Bazuk, negative damage multiplier added of 0.75 against villagers. Yeah, so the Minutemen, they did give the Minutemen a negative multiplier, but they're still going to kill him in like 2 hits. They're still going to kill him quite hard, because that's not a lot. That's not a big negative multiplier. Hambarashis, line of sight corrected to 17 from 15. That's a buff. Damage multiplier against artillery reduced to 2. Okay, they were really good at. They were such a. Hambarashis are honestly such a good unit. The only reason you don't see it spammed as much is because Abbas are just better generally. Spahi, hidden cost increased to 400 food from 280 food. What? Bounties adjusted accordingly. Wait a minute. Does that mean that the shipment of 5 Spahi in Age 3 is going to be changed? Unit name corrected to Sympathy. Yeah, that's too closely related to Simp. I don't know. And there is no way, right, anyone is going to call them anything other than Spahi, right? They will eternally be Spahi, no matter what you try and do. Uruk, now construct town centres 15% slower than other villages. That's a good change. That is a good change because they've clearly identified that the TC spam that Ottoman can do is way too good. So they're trying to nerf that. 15% for a town centre which builds quite slowly. That's actually quite good. But it doesn't impact the villagers building it. Or no, is the Uruk what they call the settler? That's not what they call the hero, right? I'm guessing, thinking about it, I'm guessing Uruks are the settlers. If you call them Spahi, you are racist. So we've been calling them Spahi for 20 years, but now all of a sudden... So I think the Uruk is the... Yeah, so they are settlers, yes. Okay, Uruk are the villas, thank you. So yeah, so the villagers build slower. Okay, that's still good. That's still, you know, but 15%, is that going to be enough? To be honest with you, I probably think that Ottoman settlers shouldn't be able to build TCs. Like, Uruks should not be able to build TCs. Only the Explorer should be able to build TCs. I think that would be a much more effective way of dealing with it. But, oh wait. Civ for in Age 3, unit count increased to 5. Okay, cool. But is that going to be in your deck? No. It's still not going to be enough to put in your deck because you have 6 Abbas gunners, which is better. To be honest, it should be 5 Abbas guns. Technologies, millet system, cost increased to 75. Nice. Okay, so they're slowing down these techs. The Imam 1 to 2, cost reduced to something. Oh, is that the logistician age up? But now only sends 100 coin, down from 150 coin. Kapakulu Corpse, that's what gives you the free bombards, right? Palace Intrigue. Cost increased to 2,500 food for up from 2,200. Good. That's it's still going to be worth. It's still going to be something that people get. Ulifillers unique Hambarassi upgrade cost reduced to and also reduces unit costs by -5. So that's the upgrade, the guard tech essentially for the Grens. Rumilots, which is the Cav. Unique Delhi upgrade cost reduced to so they're just like all the other civs. Okay, on to Portugal. I think we're getting there. Order of the Tower and Sword, Treaty of... What on earth is that? Now also improves... Oh, it's the church, right? Now also improves Black Rider's hit points. Wow. Black Rider's hit points and melee combat. That's insane, right? Does that cost like 2k wood, right? I think that costs something like 2k wood, right? That feels insane then. Or is it like 2k gold or something? 2k wood though. Definitely worth having your church card, improved church in your deck now. 100%. That's good. And then, but it doesn't say that you can continue to build Black Riders from a tavern or anything. So, because that would make it worthwhile, right? Rip Ruskets. I haven't seen that yet. You're skipping on. Audience Basteros, unique crossbowman upgrade cost. Okay, so 25% cheaper. Research is 15 seconds shorter. Good. Okay, that's like everyone else. Legionnaires, unique musketeer upgrade cost, but combat strength is only improved by. So they're nerfing musketeers, but Portugal will get free upgrade cards for muskets anyway, right? So they still have one of the best muskets in the game. Legion Dragoons, unique Dragoon unit in cost. Okay, just like everyone else. Russia. Oh my god, there's so many changes for Russia. Strelet, line of sight increased to 18 from 16. Okay. That's good. Musketeer, that's really good actually when you think about it. Musketeer renamed to Recruit. That's good because they were, again, you call them Recruit, they're always going to be called Ruskets because that's what Russian Musketeers have always been called because they've always been weaker than normal Musketeers. So they've always been called Ruskets. So that's what they're always going to be called. Halberdier renamed to Porachik. What? Added unique visuals and unit is now available in age 2. Excuse me? Okay, I think Russia players are going to be happy with that. Strelet Halberdier is a thing now. Halberdiers obviously have better siege right than muskets. So that's gonna be dangerous. They're obviously going to be age 2 versions, so as long as they die in 2 hits to a TC fire, I don't care. The units always had lower combat values than other musketeers and halberdiers. In an effort to make these unique values more visible, these units are now unique units. Cool, I like that. I always like giving different designs and things like that. I'm 100% behind that. Giving each civilization a unique feel, even with similar units, giving them a unique design and feel. I really like that stuff. I really like that stuff. Cards, 4 Grenadiers. 4 Grenadiers in H2! What? What? That's not an H2 card, surely. Increase to H5. They get a 5 Gren card in H2. That's gotta be typo, right? It's an H5. Okay. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have a heart attack there. I thought it was like a new card or something. Oh, blimey. Yo, I've just oh, we got a big raid. I don't know why the sound didn't go off, but thanks to the raid, Eagle. How you doing, man? I hope you had a good stream, buddy. Welcome, everyone. We're almost through the patch notes now. It's 2 Grens and a Foundry. What's that? What's up, Rosinante? How you doing, everyone? Big evolution. The put notes always have typos. Yeah, that's true. So in H2, 6 Porichiks, which are the halberdiers, right? So 6 of them, 6 halberdiers. Wow, they must be weak then. Boyars no longer affects strelets but cavalry archers instead. What? That's a nerf. Boyars don't affect strelets anymore. That's insane. But I mean, these buffs though are also insane. So new order regiments H2 improves strelet. Oh, so they've got another card instead of it. Okay, fine. Sorry, that's okay. So Boyars have been. You probably won't have Boyars in anymore, but you'll definitely have new order regiments. So strelets, ruskets, and halberdiers hit points and damage by 10%. Wow. Okay. Landed gentry new enables cavalry archers to be trained in the Commerce Age in shorter train time and for wood instead of coin costs. Wow, Russia. So Russia's going to be able to stay in H2 every game now, right? Russia can just stay in H2 every single game. People have been saying Russia's the worst civ. People have been saying Russia have been the worst civ for a long time. So maybe they won't anymore. Okay, so don't complain when you get what you want, guys. All right, this could be cool. This sounds cool. This sounds interesting. But cavalry archers in H2. But when you think about it, DLC civs have cavalry archers in H2. So is that game changing? You know, so are Russia? You know, we'll see. Pietros toy soldiers recruit damage and hit points reduced to 50% down from 25%. But card now also affects the Haubs and Grenadiers. Okay, Porchik hit points increase and Porchiks gain more hit points from nearby infantry. But it doesn't say what age that's in though. No way can that be an age 2 card. Militon reforms, turns, ruskets. Yeah, they with all the name changes, it gets confusing though. Ruskets into Northern Guard Musketeers, costing population. That could be really good. Northern Guard Musketeers. Oh, so it would do like a one-time. It would do a one-time change, will it? That could be nice. I just know A's is going to do something with that. Bashkir Rebellion, age 3, turns Cossacks into discipled Tartar archers, costing population. Cossacks into Tartar archers, interesting. Because that's a complete change of unit. That's a completely different unit. Team House of Romanov, move to age 1. Tudor Arms Foundry, age 2, delivers 2 grenadiers and 1 artillery foundry. Okay. We could potentially have a halberdier grenadier rush now. Halberdier grenadier rush. I'm calling it. 5 Cossacks, 700 wood, Tudor Arms Foundry. Called it. I have called it. Don't rob my build order, guys. Do not, while spamming halberdiers and then grenadiers behind it. Do not. No one take that. No one take that build order. I'm trying that first. Technologies. Westernization. Reformed Caesar. Now also researches veteran portraits. Cost increase to 400 wood, 400 coin. Oh, is that the church upgrade? Petrine reforms. Cost changes. Oh, that's the second one, right? Bashkir Ponies now delivers 23 upgraded Schiavone-like infantry instead of 17 Guard Hussars. That's completely different. Renamed to Lifeguard Jaegers. So they're going to get 23 upgraded Schiavone-like infantry. They're called Lifeguard Jaegers. That could be insane. I mean, it is expensive, right? What is it, 2k gold or something? But 23 Schiavone... that could be unbelievably insane. Depending on what their range is like. Holy shit. Savar Loyalist. Unique Cavalry Archer upgrade. Cost reduced to 75. Okay, but combat strength is only improved. Yeah, again, that's the similar theme we've got. Pavlov Grenadiers. The same. Yeah. Okay, Spain. We still got a few to go through. Spanish Gold. Fixed several instances where cards available in Spanish revolutions did not work as intended. Okay, cool. Royal Abattoirs for Royal Decree to claim the New World. Now also grants halberdiers, hit point regeneration, and promotions. Okay. Wild Geese. If you get to age 4, pikemen are just better though, right? Wild Geese. That's the church tech that gives you the cav. Royal Decree to claim New World. Move to age 3. Cost of 2,000 food remain unchanged. Now ships 20 Irish Brigadiers instead. Yeah, that's it. Harquebusiers. It gives you 20 Irish Brigadiers for 2k food. Plus a card to get it, but it's in age 3. Do we think that's good? So, oh crap. Have we just potentially buffed... Wait a minute. Let me just check something real quick. Have we just buffed the Pirashiki? Have we just buffed the Pirashiki? So Pirashiki, 1210, right? They ship the halberdiers, 2 falconets. Next one is 1k food. All villagers on food at that point. Bang, 20 Irish Brigadiers. Again, don't rob my build order. I've called it. No, it said it moved it to age. It's moved to age 3. It just said move to age 3, guys. It's not an age 4 shipment anymore. Move to age 3. So how was it age 4? No, so it was the Harquebusiers. So the 10 Harquebusiers was the Wild Geese, which was the age 4 tech, and now it's been moved to age 3. It's still got the same food cost, but it gives you 20 brigs. Imagine 20 brigs at like 8 minutes in the game. That's going to be a thing. 2k food is a lot, I agree, but it's food. It's not like it's any other resource. You probably won't even do the... you might not even bother doing the halberdiers anymore. You might just go for the Irish Brigs instead. Holy moly! That's going to be insane. I'm calling it now. That is definitely going to be part of a Fast Fortress. There's going to be a Fast Fortress build with that, and it's going to be insane. I'm calling it now. No, what you probably do is just gather the food, ship 1k wood to get the halberdiers that way. Like 2k food will come quicker than you think. Come. Espadrilles, unique Rodolero upgrade cost reduced to 900. Okay, yeah, that's the rods. The Garachistas, Lancer upgrade cost, and Lancer movement speed. Lancer movement speed gets a buff on their Gartech. Okay, cool. Terraso, that's the pikeman. Unique pikeman upgrade cost. Okay, wow. So that can be nerfed even harder as well, right? Sorry, that can be buffed again, right? And research time is 10 seconds shorter because I believe there's an age up which makes that cheaper, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Sweden, Shake, get the tissues out. I know you're gonna be crying here. Units and buildings, Caroleans, cost increased to 65, so they got an extra 10 cost. So Caroleans are going to be more expensive, so you're not going to be able to spam 555 because that racks up, right? So for every 5 batch of 5, that's an extra 50 resources. That's an extra 25 food and 25 coin. That's expensive. Honestly, that's a 10% increase. That's basically just over. It's like an 12% increase to their cost. That's expensive. That is expensive. Negative melee damage multiplier toward riflemen changed to include all light infantry units. Wait, the negative melee damage multiplier towards riflemen. Okay, that's fine, but they're still going to wreck light infantry in melee, right? Their charge will still wreck light infantry, so that's not a problem. Light cannon, no longer tagged as gunpowder trooper. What difference does that make? Does anyone know? No longer tagged as gunpowder trooper. Does that mean it doesn't benefit from certain techs from the arsenal? So I believe that means it doesn't. Yeah, it won't get arsenal tech. Yeah. So okay, I was right. Good. Okay. Okay. It still gets the speed one though, right? From advanced arsenal, it still gets the speed one on the thing. Train time increased to 38 from 33. Do I agree with that? That's hefty. That is hefty. But I agree. I think lever cannons are too good, so they do need a nerf. So I think that's probably good. Damage multiplier against heavy cavalry reduced to 0.5 from 0.6 for the lever cannons. I didn't. Okay, that doesn't make a difference because they didn't do much. They didn't do any damage to cav anyway. Hacker pellets. Negative damage multipliers of 0.7 increased to 0.75. Again, negative damage multiplier against what? Against what? Is that Vils? Torp. Build time increased to 19 seconds from 16. So that did get nerfed again. So by like what, 4 seconds last patch. So they've nerfed it again by another 3 seconds. Let's talk about, because we'll need to talk about Sweden. Cards. Line Grenadiers added to Home City. I don't know what that does. Oh, here it is. 1 foundry wagon plus 1 lever cannon. 2 renamed. 1 foundry wagon plus 1 lever cannon. Renamed to. So what does this do then? Line Grenadiers added to Home City. This has been renamed. Okay, good. That's still in the game. German mercenary contracts improves damage and hit points of mercenaries by 20%, down from 25%. Okay. Civ name info. There's a typo. Definitely a typo there. The AI spazzed out a little bit there. Callum couldn't understand the Russia changes. Yo, Izad, how long have you been in here for, buddy? There's a lot. Technologies. Gustavian guards now have slightly more armor and movement speed. I don't know what that does. Takari pikemen, unique pikeman upgrade cost. Yeah, no one goes pikeman. Drabants, unique hacker pellet upgrade. Okay, so hacker pellet. Yeah, so that's the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so Sweden. Again, I always say this, right? The problem with Sweden, and Sweden have been nerfed in a good way, right? The train time to lever cannons, cost increase to Caroleans. Those 2 nerfs probably would have been enough. The problem is they're still going to have a good eco. They're still going to be the matchups that they're still good against. They're still going to be good. It does give other civilizations more of a chance to kill their tempo and their torps, because the train time to the lever cannons is big. But lever cannons are still going to be good. But the problem with Sweden is that they're going to be even worse versus their counter civs, because there's a few civs that do counter them really hard. China, India, etc. So Sweden unfortunately fall into this kind of hole where they're good against some civs, but they absolutely shit against other civs. So that's always been the problem with Sweden. So they have been nerfed, and they were a bit too good, if we're being honest. So I still think they're going to be good. Does the talk training time need to be changed? I don't think so, but I think they've been nerfed. They might have been over nerfed, but I'll have to see. I hope not. Don't worry, Shape. They're still going to be playable. They're still going to be 1900 year with them. Don't worry. They're still going to be good. United States. Come on, baby. Give me something. German immigrants. Settler wagons are now trainable from the Commerce Age. Delivers a homestead wagon. Cost of 200 wood added. So, settler wagons cost 200 wood. So, are they trying to make it like so what's you got French immigrants, which is 225 wood, right? And now you've got, but instead you could be sending this. But what does that do? It delivers a homestead wagon, and settler wagons are trainable from the Commerce Age. How are they going to be trainable from mills? Are they going to be trainable from mills? If that's the case, that's probably going to be really good. By the way, that's potentially really good. But we'll have to wait and see. Because you could go. If that's the case, you could go French immigrants, and then in transition to age 2, chop 200 wood, send it, so it comes in roughly as soon as you age up, and then you could start making villagers and settler wagons at the same time. Okay. Jaguar Proud Knights now benefits from combat promotions. Please defend this, because Jaguar Proud Knights suck, Animus. They suck ass. No one makes them. You never build them outside of the big button. So they're trying to make them viable. Don't worry though, Animus. Stop waving your hands in the air with little minor changes. Ah, Jaguar Proud Knights. Don't worry. They're gonna be fine. Oklahoma Black Mesa. Cost increased to 205 wood from 200. What's the Oklahoma Black Mesa? Is that the... I think that's the thing that gives you the coal mines, right? Kentucky Hunters. Kentucky no longer increases owl hoot range, but ships 5 owl hoots instead. Okay. Florida Cow Hunters. 5. Florida now also sends 2 cowboys for each shipment you've sent so far in the game. You'll end up like, imagine like you're gonna get like a 20-25 cowboy shipment in age 5. But when you're at that age, that stage of the game, it doesn't matter anyway. Seminole ponies, age 5 now also sends 9 hussars. Don't know what that does. Marion's Divergence, South Carolina now also sends 2 Quaker guns. Quaker guns are just fucking terrible. I think they're a treaty only thing really. Volunteers. Unique state militia upgrade. Cost of state militia, yeah, okay, it's the same as everything else. Revolutions, 2 covered wagons. Oh, so that's the only changes to United States. I actually kind of think United States are in an okay position. I think United States would sit somewhere at the bottom of A tier. I do think they are in the A tier because the best buffs that they got were last patch when they minus 25 wood and minus 50 coin to the Dutch and French immigrants. It actually felt like it made a big difference. So these are nice changes. Obviously, there's not really any buffs or nerfs, really, just changes. But German immigrants could be viable because you never see it. So that's cool. Revolutions, 2 covered wagons. Yep. No longer increases build limit by +2. Instead, revolutions with this card, Brazil Hasty grant +4 to their build limit. That change was needed when Fatorius was OP as fuck. Now Fatorius isn't OP anymore. That doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Barbary states, loyal warriors added to home cities. Outlaw combat. Outlaw combat, because that buffs the what they turn into, right? Wow. Okay, that could be cool. Canada updated the revolution with various cards from the British, French, and Haud and Shini. Grizzly Bear now costs 1 population. So the French Revolution got nerfed, but maybe their Canada Revolution's been buffed. They got 16 Musketeer Infinite added to home city. Would I send 16 Musketeers over Grizzly Bears? Would I fuck? New Fencibles. researches musketeer upgrades and improves their cost and range. Researches musketeer upgrades and improves their cost and range. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't forget, Canada is basically an eco revolt, so it doesn't turn your settlers into revolutionaries. So I think all it does really is give them maybe a tiny buff to like production and stuff and gathering resources by like 5% maybe or something like that. But it essentially makes the villagers really tough. It gives them like an extra buff to their thing. Roast and antique, exactly. So potentially we have an improved Musk Falk revolution. Eat that right up. Canadian militia officer can now be sent from the home city and improves villagers, native warriors, and militiamen in combat. Can now be sent from the home city and improves villagers, native warriors, and militiamen in combat. The thing is as well, Canada, when you revolt to Canada, it already increases the villagers. So does that mean that that's going to improve them even more? Egypt, this isn't one you see very often. Higher Balkan Stradiates, unit count reduced to 4 from 5, is no longer available to the British. Egypt sucks anyway, really. It's pointless. Finland, this sucks as well. Northern Wilderness cleaned up the long tooltip. Card is no longer required to train fishing boats again. Blockhouse build limit assigned to 15 from unlimited. It was funny. You could literally fill the whole map with blockhouses. 5 blockhouses infinite. This card is no longer infinite and now sends 4 blockhouses and 1 fort. That's really good. Added several Swedish and Russian cards to the home city. Okay, cool. So Finland could be a thing, but who goes into Finland, right? I think the only civ I play that goes into Finland is Sweden. Someone wants me to check Discord. Go back to Sweden section. There was the new civ notice. Yeah, so I did see that, but it just looked like a typo. Let me just quickly go back. Sweden. Civ name info. Yeah, that mistake there just looks to me like they forgot to like this is like a standard format, and they would change the name of civ to whatever the civ was, and they would change this, and someone just forgot about it. That I don't think that's not a secret to any new civ that's coming out or anything. Where are we? Grand Columbia, Independence Guard, range damage multiplier of 1.5 against cavalry, added for comparable performance against other revolution. So basically making them like a Carolean on top of a musketeer. It's a bad revolt anyway. Colombian army enables the imperial upgrades for your barracks units to be researched for greatly reduced costs. Okay, well that you could essentially get imperial musketeers, which are already buffed in an Age 4 revolt. So that could actually be a thing. Grand Columbia could actually be a thing. Haiti pirate, the new population cost is of 4 is now reduced -2 instead of being set to 1. Revolutionary now has -50% less hit points, down from -20, but also costs -10 food, less, gain 2 range, blah blah blah. Is now also available to the British. The Haiti revolt is available to the Brits. I mean, technically, there's almost, you know, the British, if you go by historical accuracy, should probably have almost every revolt in the game, right? Hungary, outlaw combat added to home city. Outlaw combat. Why would you add that to the Hungary one? That's the now also researches the Rumilets Royal Guard upgrade for Ottomans. Okay, Indonesia, 2 ironclads, infinite. Mexico, we've already been through this, but again, you can read it if you want to. But Wild West can no longer be researched when the fog. Again, Mexico is a really terrible revolt. It's not going to be. I can't see it being viable. Romania, and another terrible one. Doroban, have 50% more hit points. Blah blah blah. Cavalry hit point and cavalry combat added. Danubian principles, allies to the houses of Fanar in the native embassy. Houses of Fanar, I don't think is that great. Riding school, Rosia Dagroons only can be sent once again, but also allows Rosia Dragons to be trained from forts. Yeah, it's just not a good. It's not a good revolt. South Africa, Trek wagon can now be trained from town centres, stables, forts, and galleons. Instead of shipping 3 Trek wagons, now all houses turn into Trek wagons. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Imagine spamming 20 Trek wagons running around the map. If you had max population, you just got like 20 Trek wagons. Just diving into, like, imagine diving into someone's base with 20 Trek wagons and then your army's following behind it. They won't be able to Z move. They won't be able to attack move because they'll be chasing. That could be hilarious. Now grants 200 population by default. That's what some revolutionaries do. 20 twat wagons. Yeah, you will lose them as a twat wagon. That's actually a nice buff. But they took away the extra factory because the only reason you went to South Africa really was to get the third factory, and they haven't given that back, so it's not going to be as good. United States no longer improves Gatling gun hit points, but now spawns a general instead. This is the revolution. Updated the revolution with various cards from the USA civilization. Okay, that's cool. There could be some good cards in there. Cattle drivers, card replaced by conscription. Card replaced cowboys. Card replaced by Lee's Continental Light Dragoons. Native American allies. Card replaced by Bourbon allies. Volunteers. Card replaced by Morgans. Okay, that's it. I can't see that revolution being good anyway because United States is terrible as well. Woo! That took us about an hour and a half. Maybe an hour 20 minutes. That's cool. That's a nice long one. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think the changes are quite cool. Do I foresee anything being too good or too bad? No. I don't see anything being too good or too bad. I really like the changes. I have to say, my favorite. I know at first some people are going to have like a shock. So people are going to be like, "Oh my god, what have they done to the heroes?" But like, it's kind of cool. Like, don't you like? I think purely on the fact that the Dutch hero can make envoys, I actually think will make Dutch more viable.